In this video, I'm going to show you the exact email marketing strategy that we use to help one clothing brand generate over $50,000 in just 30 days. If you're running a clothing brand, you already know the struggle. Getting that first sale is expensive and your profit often disappears into high ad cost. The secret to actually making money is turning those one-time buyers into lifelong customers without you manually having to beg for sales every day. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. First, I'll show you how to build a pop-up that actually captures your ideal customer. And then I'm going to walk you through our automated flow system. This system, the retention engine, is what's responsible for capturing over $47,000 for this brand without them hitting send once. And then finally, I'm going to break down a couple email designs that I personally built that makes the customer want to come back to buy again and again. My name is Mace Murray, founder of EXM Global Strategies. We build retention systems for 6- and 7-figure e-commerce brands. Let's get to the video. All right, so I'm in Klaviyo. I'm in one of my clients' accounts. Let's talk about the pop-up. Now, unfortunately, all of our email marketing focused clients, we are running an A/B test on all of their pop-ups. And the problem with that is for some stupid reason, Klaviyo doesn't let you look at the pop-up as there's a test going unless we draft and cancel the test. And we don't want to do that because we literally just set up the test today. With that being said, I'm going to show you one that is SMS focused, and I'm going to talk about exactly what you would do to make it an email marketing focused pop-up. For the most part, everything's the same. So right off the bat, we're going to talk about the teaser. Now, the teaser is something that I highly recommend you do. A lot of clients, when we first start working with them, they're very worried about the teaser because they think it looks trashy on their site. But the thing is a pop-up form that has a teaser performs on average 65% better than a pop-up without a teaser. Now, obviously, brand aesthetic is important, but it's way more important having a high submit rate because you make a lot more money. So for the teaser, keep it simple. Whatever your website is, if you have a white background website, obviously don't do a white colored teaser. You're gonna wanna do something that's a lot more contrasting to the website. The same concept with the pop-up as well. The style, I usually tend to stay with a circle. The corner looks like it's straight off of Shein. The rectangle, that one's all right if you wanna use that, but circle is usually what we like to stick with. Layout, medium, pretty much always. Again, large, looking like Shein. Small, you can do, it just doesn't stand out as much. If you're worried about your website looking too trashy or whatever, then you can do the small layout as well. But I recommend the medium. Now, something that's important with the teaser is to look at the display setting. Show before displaying form and after form is closed, have that selected. Obviously, you want it for all devices. And another thing is make sure the font on your sign up form and your teaser matches your website. We want everything on our website to coexist because it makes a better customer experience for the customer. And it also helps the customer trust us, which is one of the most important things for a customer making a purchase on the website. Now, the main difference between an SMS focused pop-up form and an email focused pop-up form is right up here. If it's SMS focused, SMS is gonna go first. And if it's email marketing focused, email is gonna go first. Now, obviously for the video, this is an email marketing video. You'd wanna have this one first. Now, something that's very important to note, like how I said the pop-up needs to contrast with the website, we also need the copy on this to contrast with the pop-up form or whatever the image is in the back. For example, here, this looks a little fishy, but if you go on the website, it looks totally fine. Make sure that it's readable for the customer. We need them to be able to see what they're signing up for. Now, whatever your offer is, obviously put it in the headline. Now, for the preview text, I always want to let them know where the discount is gonna be. So for this specific client, it's enter your email and your exclusive code will be sent directly to the inbox. Now, I said for this specific client, but that's usually how you wanna do it because a lot of people, for some reason, they like to put it after their email and SMS. They'll just put it in this step right here. The problem with that is it doesn't force the customer to open the email. And when the customer isn't opening the email, emails are just being sent to their account. They're not opening it, and that's affecting the deliverability, which is gonna cause your emails to land in spam, and nobody's ever gonna see your emails, and your email marketing is gonna suck. So, very important that you don't do that and you give them the discount in their inbox. And if it's SMS, same concept. Send it to their phone because there is deliverability in SMS as well. Now, in terms of format, structure of the pop-up, this is the general format that you want to go by and you want to kind of copy this. Headline, logo on top, preview text talking about where the discount's going to be, enter the email, claim discount. For this button right here, the action is to submit the form, and then the after submit, you want to show the next step. That's basically telling Klaviyo that once they submit, it's gonna lead them to the SMS opt-in next, and it's not gonna close the pop-up form. So because we're focused on email marketing, what we wanna do for the SMS opt-in is generally, we don't wanna offer a discount. What we wanna do is just say, hey, if you want exclusive offers or if you want updates on our next drop or whatever, sign up to SMS. Now, if it's a new customer, which it usually is gonna be if they're signing up to your sign-up form, they probably won't really care about that because they don't know anything about your brand. But the idea here is the email opt-in, if they've already done it, the next thing that's gonna be shown is the SMS. Since they've already signed up to the email, usually a customer is gonna be like, all right, I'll just sign up to SMS as well. With that being said, because we have both of these going to their inbox or their iMessages or whatever their text messages are, success, that's what we're gonna talk about. Now again, usually people just have the discount right here. That's bad. What we're gonna do is we're gonna thank them for signing up, and all we're gonna do is tell them to check their email and or text messages for their discount code. This is generally what you wanna do for your pop-up. Real quick, we're gonna look at targeting and behavior. I'm gonna show you a couple of key things to keep in mind. Show form, you're gonna wanna do it based on rules. Don't have it pop up immediately. It's an eyesore for the customer to see right off the bat. We're gonna show the form based on rules, and the rules are gonna be when a visitor is exiting the page and after a time delay. For the time delay, do anywhere from 3 to 7 seconds. Now we're gonna scroll down. For frequency, click this button here, show form again after 3 days, again 3 to 5 days. Obviously for the devices we want all, click outside form to close on desktop only. And for the targeting, all we're gonna wanna do is don't show to existing Klaviyo profiles for obvious reasons. Now the reason it's so important to have the pop-up set up this way is because the first thing is we obviously wanna have a good submit rate. The higher the submit rate, the more that this pop-up's converting, but at the same time, we don't want low intent buyers. We want high intent buyers. So that's why for whatever your first one is, you can offer a gift or a discount, but for the second one, you don't wanna offer a gift or discount. If you do, then you're just gonna get people that are just hunting for discount codes. So copy this pop-up setup, tweak it a little bit for your brand, it's gonna work wonders for you. Once you have the pop-up form dialed in, what's next? Next, we're gonna talk about the core flows that you need for your clothing brand. These flows, this system is where you move from just sending emails to building a real business asset in your retention marketing. And this is what we call a retention engine. Something that works for you while you sleep or when you're sitting on a beach in Cancun drinking a Mai Tai. Look, campaigns are very important for a number of reasons. But if you look at the screenshot, you can see that 47,000 of that 50-something thousand came from these flows. So we're gonna hop in a Miro board. I'm gonna show you all the flows, but I'm gonna talk about some of the core ones that you need for your clothing brand. So this is our life cycle revenue blueprint. This is what we plug into every single client that we work with. And if you've seen one of my other videos, you might have seen this system. But in this video, we're gonna talk about the 3 core ones that's a must-have for your clothing brand. Starting with the welcome flow. This is your first impression with the customer. This is your very first touch point with them. And if you do this right, for this specific flow, we see conversion rates on click sessions as high as 58%. So in terms of how the email is actually going to look, you can do one of 2 ways. The first way is you can do a nice fancy design that looks aesthetically pleasing to the customer. This is great, and obviously this is your first option. This is the recommended option, but only if your deliverability is good. If your deliverability sucks, then just send a plain text email that seems like it's coming directly from you, the founder. Because the most important thing in retention marketing is deliverability. If people aren't seeing your stuff, then the stuff isn't gonna work. As for the fancy email design, I'm gonna show you guys an example of that later in the video. But for now, in terms of the welcome flow, this is what you're gonna wanna do. So obviously the trigger for the welcome flow is anytime somebody signs up to your list. If somebody signs up to your email marketing or SMS marketing, they're gonna get a welcome flow email or text message. In terms of the time delay, it needs to be immediate. As soon as they sign up to the list, they receive the first email. This first email is gonna be all about welcoming them to the clothing brand. If you talked about having a discount in your pop-up form, throw the discount in the email. If you didn't, just talk about what the brand means to you, what it means to other people, give them some social proof, some testimonials, whatever you might do to make them feel like this is a true brand business and something that they can trust. After that first one, if they don't make a purchase, we're gonna have an urgency email that's talking about the discount. checkout, use it before you lose it, a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of urgency. And if they still don't make a purchase after that, you're gonna send another one that's a last chance to use your discount, following the same or similar concept as this one right here. Now for the emails down here, beneath the urgencies, beneath the conditional splits, this is if that customer did make a purchase. If they did make a purchase, the sole point of these emails is to really just make them feel like they're a part of the family that we're building in our brand. So again, social proof, show other people wearing them, maybe give them some outfit ideas, tell them a little bit about the shipping, a little bit about the quality, whatever it might be, just give the customer information and make them feel like they're a part of this family, this ecosystem that you built. The next core flow we're gonna talk about is the abandoned cart. We'll throw the abandoned checkout in as well. They both kind of go hand in hand. Obviously the difference is the abandoned cart, that trigger is based on if somebody added something to cart, did not proceed to checkout. And then the abandoned checkout is if somebody made it to checkout, but they didn't complete the purchase. Now for the abandoned cart flow alone, if you have a solid abandoned cart flow, sequence, you can win back on average 15% of your total lost sales. Now for both of these flows, we're gonna wanna have a time delay that is fairly quick. We're gonna wanna have it anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. We wanna catch the customer when they're still in that buying mood. Now the next core flow we're gonna go over is the browse abandonment flow. That's this one right here. And the trigger for this one is anytime somebody clicked or looked at a specific product, but they didn't add it to cart. And instead they left your website. This flow is really good because it targets the window shoppers. It targets anybody who clicked on a product that obviously piqued their interest, but they didn't have enough information or enough trust to make the purchase. For the time delay, you're gonna wanna do something similar to the abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. You could go a little longer, 60 minutes max. Now, obviously, all of these flows are very important to have. I'll do a quick scroll through of all of the flows. And if you want a full breakdown on every single flow, go watch this video right here. So now that you know some of the core flows that you need for your clothing brand, we're gonna go through a couple of examples of email designs, and we're gonna talk about the things that you can apply to your emails for your brand. All right, so this is an example of an email that we did for one of our clients. And as you can see right off the bat here, we have two things in bold. Now I am just realizing that we made this email for Halloween, but we're gonna show it anyways. So like I said, we have the site-wide sale and the limited stock both in bold. Now, that's for a reason, because nowadays in 2026, people, their attention span is like a goldfish. If you think your customer is gonna read every single word in your email, you are very wrong. So with that being said, all of the key important things about your email needs to be in bold, or it needs to stand out in some way. So we have in bold that there's a site-wide sale, there's a limited stock, and then we also have in bold, rather it's something that's standing out, that you get a free beanie with the purchase of any item, no code needed. And also notice the bold, high quality images. We're not just selling clothes, we're selling an aesthetic, we're selling a feeling. Like when you buy from this brand, you join this cool aesthetic that these people are already a part of. Something to keep in mind for the CTA, we're gonna have that in a color that stands out. And another thing that's important to note is that in each section of this email, you have a CTA. And this is very important because if you just had one CTA for the whole email, when the customer starts at the top and they start scrolling to the bottom and they have to scroll to find the CTA again, that is too much work for the customer. People are lazy, and if it's not right in front of them, they will not go and buy your product. So for each section of the email, make sure you have a CTA, make sure you give them a button to click on that can take them back to that product. So for this next design, it is all about urgency. You can see that all of the important things are bolded, up to 65% off, it ends soon, urgency, FOMO. We have the 65% off site-wide right here. And we also showcase a couple of the best sellers and we give them the price, the before and after price. So this is the price that was, before the 65% off site-wide, and this is the price that's after. And we list these specific products so the customer knows exactly what they're about to miss out on. And again, we have the images as clean, aesthetic, and we have the CTAs in each section of the email. Keep in mind that a high converting email doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be authentic to your brand. Most e-com brands that I talk to are leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table because their setup is broken. I want to give you a free tool that you can use to find those leaks yourself. This is the tool right here. All right, so as you can see in rows 4 through 8, this is the inputs. This is the stuff that you manually put in. Well, really rows 9 through 15 is gonna be the things that are gonna be calculated for you. So, and if something's red, that's not good. If it's green, you're good. If it's yellow, it's fine. This is the calculations of your e-com brand currently, and this is the forecast for after you make changes. This is what it can turn into. And this is what can happen if you have an optimized retention system. Something else to keep in mind, in row 15, this is your total cash leaking. Now for this specific brand, over the next 90 days, they're losing $15,675. Go get the tool in the description below, plug in the numbers, and find out what you need to improve on. Email marketing for a clothing brand isn't just a marketing task. It's a core business asset that should be contributing at least 25 to 35% of your total revenue. If you're a founder doing anywhere from $20,000 to $300,000 a month and you're ready to get this off your plate and build a real retention engine, go to the description to book a free retention audit. On that call, I'm gonna personally go in and do a full audit on your brand. And if you're a good fit to work with us, we're currently offering a double or nothing guarantee, which means we'll at least double what you put in or we'll give everything back. And if you're not quite ready for that, no worries, no pressure. Just stay tuned for more tips and tricks on how to scale your e-commerce brand with retention marketing. I hope you guys got some good value from this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.